Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It is currently, trying to get this camera situated. It is currently, let's see the time, 5:31 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, early evening. I didn't realize actually that it was that late, but I guess it makes sense. We got up today and we went to brunch. We got to brunch at like 2:20 and left there about 3 o'clock, 3:15, something like that. And then we ran a few errands. We went to Kohl's. I'm going to show you what I got from Kohl's in just a second. I'm so excited about it. And then we came home and Alex was like, I'm so tired. And I was like, are you going to lay down? He was like, I may go to bed for the night. I was like, are you seriously? He was like, yeah. And he goes, are you going to make videos? And I said, well, I'm definitely going to vlog. And he goes, well, I'm just going to rest in bed. And I go, okay. So I made a drama video. I made a rant video actually. And it's kind of a rant video and kind of an exposed video on my experience with Bird Buddy. So it's because of a lot of you that I actually ended up making this video. Because I mentioned on here a little bit recently about, I never got my Bird Buddy bird feeder. And there were a few of you that commented and said, oh, I kind of wondered if you ever got it, or, I hadn't heard you mention it again. And in all honesty, I had kind of like forgotten about it. And so because you guys mentioned it to me, I thought, oh, that might be kind of like a funny haha rant video. I'm sure it's coming any day now, something like that. Like when I got a couple comments about it, I just kind of wrote it off as nothing and thought, oh, it will be here eventually, whatever. But when I looked into it, what I found was rather shocking, and I'm not happy about it at all. It's really scammy. Really, really. There's like fuzz or something on the end of my hat. It's like really, really scammy, and I'm out quite a bit of money. So I'm going to either have to call my credit card company or figure out how I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get this money back. So anyway, but I made that video, that rant, drama, whatever. I don't know if you want to call it a rant video. It's not super funny. I mean, it's me just kind of talking about what happened with Bird Buddy, so and what I found out. But anyway, I just made that video and I'm uploading that. And so I thought Alex was asleep, but he's upstairs watching TikToks. And so I said, are you still awake? And he's like, yeah, this is my... I said, are you asleep? And he goes, yeah, this is my sleeping voice. I said, well, I just finished a video. And he said, yeah, I heard you outside, because he can hear me, if he's upstairs in the bedroom, he can hear me outside here, filming videos or whatever. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to vlog, and then I'm going to lay down and rest for a little bit. Sundays are for napping. They just are, and I am super relaxed today, and I wouldn't necessarily say, tired, but tired. You know what I mean? When you just want to lay in bed and coze the whole day. So last night Alex went to the Deadmau5 concert, which is a DJ, and he went with Sarah and the couple that we went to Chicago with, and some other friends, and his friend Megan was there, and a bunch of other people. And then afterwards they went out to this bar called Patron Saint, and he had a really good time. And then the couple that we went to, I think Sarah did not go out after the concert. And then the couple that we went to Chicago with, they brought Alex home. So he didn't get home too late. He was home by 1 o'clock or something. I think the concert ended at 11 or 12. Anyway, when I got all of my stuff done yesterday, I made dinner, and I made 3 little sandwiches with the Hawaiian bread and cheese and lettuce and the truff mayonnaise. And then I had pasta salad, and then I had onion dip and chips, and then I had 2 of the cider donuts. And when I was done, I was so full. I was like, oh my God, I'm so full. So I took little Boo Radley out and let him run around in the front yard for a while, and it was cold. It was really cold last night. So he and I went and we laid down. I think it was 9 o'clock, maybe 9 or 9:30 by that point. and we laid down, and I like snoozed my alarm when it went off. And so we got up and I did some stuff around the house, was talking to people on the phone, and it didn't feel like a Saturday at all. I'm kind of like, as far as TV shows, like I didn't know what to watch on TV. As far as TV shows, I'm either like in the middle of something very, very long, like Manifest. I'm on the beginning of the second season, and I have like 14 episodes to go of that season, and then I have the third season, and then, or I'm like watching shows that like an episode a week comes out, like The Housewives or La Brea. And I just started watching Friend of the Family, which is the Jan Broberg story, and the Bob like Berchtold that kidnapped her. The documentary is called, I talked about this yesterday and the day before on here, so I don't need to talk about it again. The documentary on Netflix is called Abducted in Plain Sight. So here's the thing. The series on Peacock is very well done, and it's interesting to watch. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily bored with it, but it's like on the heels of having just watched the documentary, it's literally the exact same story. I mean, verbatim. And they change some things, but it's just like little things that they change. Like, for example, he wants to take her, like, this is the first kidnapping. He wants to take her, like, horseback riding, like, after her piano lesson. And, like, how that all kind of happens and comes to fruition is different than how it was reported in the documentary by the mom. But it's really small stuff like that. But if you've watched the documentary, I don't know that it would be interesting to you. Like, I think it would be more interesting if you hadn't seen the documentary. It's also, like, the pacing of things, like, this is where I don't, like, want to ruin it for people that haven't seen it, but if you don't know, like, what led up to the kidnappings, like, with the parents and things like that, like, you find that out later, but you also find it out later in the story. So anyway, I finished last night. Well, first, when I got up, I wanted to watch a scary movie, so I was just, like, looking through scary movies that were free, and I was looking at Halloween movies, and because I had, like, looked up Halloween movies on my vlog earlier, so, I was just kind of, like, looking through stuff. I can't remember what I was gonna watch. Oh, I was gonna watch the newest Scream movie, because it was out for free, I think, on Peacock. But I ended up watching Dawn of the Dead from 2004 with Sarah Polley, and, I really, really liked the original Dawn of the Dead, and I liked the remake of it as well, where they're in the mall. I don't know what it is about... First of all, I don't know what it is about zombie apocalypse movies, TV shows, and books, but and it's not something that, like, I would have been real fascinated with, like, growing up. I don't think, like, I don't know when the fascination for me started. I really don't know. Maybe it was with the Rhiannon Frater books that I read, the As the World Dies, because those books were so fantastically done. But I have this, like, insane infatuation with zombie apocalypse. Anything, right? So if you have any recommendations out there for movies or TV shows or books or anything, I think I have, like, the first 4 Walking Dead comic books. I think I might start reading those. I think I've tried to get into the first one, and I really couldn't get into it. But anyway, I've had some friends of mine that are like, they're fantastic, the comic books, the graphic novels, or whatever you want to call them. The comic books are really, really good for The Walking Dead. I did it one time, start watching iZombie. I think I got through the first season, and then that's all I watched. And then I think there's one called Z Nation. And it was interesting because I was looking at it, and am I, like, is that somebody inside, or am I hitting the table? When I was reading about it, the storyline is very similar to, which I haven't finished this series either, My Life as a White Trash Zombie by Diana Rowland. Those books are fantastic as well. But, like, I Google searched it last night, and I was like, is Z Nation, because I was looking up, like, TV shows and zombie, shows and whatever, like, is Z Nation based on my life, and something came up and said it is not based on this. It's actually based on comic books that they came out with, these Z Nation comic books. So I don't know. I might watch that. There's only, I think, like 2 seasons of that. I'm not really interested in like the zombie stuff where it's like they're just as one zombie, if that makes sense. That's like acclimating to like high school or normal life, and they just like, you know what I mean? Like I like my life as a white trash zombie. Like she was a zombie that had to like live like with everybody else, and nobody knew that she was a zombie. But what I really like is like the zombie apocalypse stories, where it's like they're fighting to live. And I think really it's almost like the apocalypse stories that I like better, where it's like they're trying just to like survive, like the survivalist like movies and TV shows. I really like that. Like that's the aspect I like. I could care less about the zombies, honestly. It's not really the zombies that I like so much. It's more the trying to survive and get by and, you know, whatever. So I watched Dawn of the Dead last night. It was better than I remembered it being, honestly. Like I don't remember when I originally watched it thinking that it was that great, but it was pretty good. And then I was like, okay, so I want to start watching something zombie again. Like, what should I watch? And so that was when I was Googling shows. And I've asked this question on here so many times, and I feel like dare I ask again, but do you guys know the Walking Dead season that, like, it ended with them, like, all being, like, on the ground on their knees, and the guy that carried the bat with... People tell me I look like him, but I look nothing like him. Like, I've had a couple people be like, oh my god, you look like that guy. His name's like something, something, something. It's like 3 names. He's like super good looking. I'm flattered that people tell me I look like him, but it's only thing is the beard. It's like nothing else. But anyway, he carries the bat with the nails in it. And so like in season 1, or in not season 1, in the first episode of the next season, you get to see like who it is that he kills. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Okay, do you know what episode I'm talking about? What is that season that starts with that episode? Because that's the, and they have to bring them like fruit and vegetables or whatever. Like that's the season that I need to go back and start watching if I'm going to watch The Walking Dead again. Like Tanya's kept up with it. I kind of wish I would have kept up with it. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, pretty evening, isn't it?
Beautiful.
I really wish that I kind of kept up with it now because it's like ending, you know? So last night I finished watching the first episode of Friend of a Family, and then I started watching the second episode, and I was like this. I was so bored. So I started watching Fear the Walking Dead. I don't remember how far I got in it. I remember them going to like they get on a boat, and I remember them like going and like stopping at some guy's house. It's like huge, and it's like in Mexico or something. Like I don't remember, but anyway, I must have got pretty far in like the second season, but then I think I stopped because the first season's only 6 episodes, and the first episode, I watched the whole first episode last night. It was great, but it really has nothing to do with zombies until the very end. And then I remember there's like this guy that like owns a store, and he's like a main character too. There's like a couple different people that are like main characters. So it's like, I think he's like his story comes out in the next episode. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll start watching that. But I really, really liked it. And so it's like, okay, here's something. Now I've got that, and I've got Manifest. Actually, I can tell you the shows I'm watching right now. Grandma's speeding through the neighborhood. I'm watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but the last episode was this week, and so the reunion starts. So I think it'll be 3 parts, then it'll be over. The Patient, I've got 8, 9, and 10 left, and that hasn't come out yet. Manifest, I'm on season 2. Real Girlfriends of Paris. I started watching that, and I watched 1 episode of it. I may take that off my list and not watch it. I don't know that I really care. Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip season 1. I have 1 episode left of that, and then because I started watching it earlier in the year, and then I stopped watching it, and when I went back, I found out that I had 2 episodes left, and I watched the 1 episode, so I only have the last episode left. La Brea season 2. That's like 1 episode a week, though. Love that. RuPaul's Drag Race UK. That's 1 episode a week. Love that. Alaska Daily, I just started that this week. It's brand new. This is one of those that I wish they would just release it all because it's so binge worthy. Friend of the Family. I think it's only 4 episodes and it's complete. And then Fear the Walking Dead. Look, I have Friend of the Family and Alaska Daily on my list of shows to watch. I need to take those off of here. Is anybody watching Abbott Elementary? It got so many awards, and I'm thinking about starting to watch that. So those are the shows that I'm watching. And then I went to bed last night. So I had a good night last night. It was fun. It was kind of like just relaxing. Boo Radley and I hung out and cozied and cuddled, and it was nice. Okay, so let me show you the things that I got. First of all, this is a bag from Cafe Patachou. So we went in there today and they had all new plates and kitchenware and like bowls and mugs and everything like that. All their new coffee, well, these aren't new. These are the same. See, they say Cafe Patachou on them. But all of their mugs and stuff are the same. This is Blueberry Crumble. It's my favorite coffee that they have at Cafe Patachou. I don't know why Blueberry Crumble is my favorite, but it's just like, oh my God, it's like heaven. I love it. So when we were there, they had new coffee mugs, which are very nice. I really like them. It's funny because like we've been going there forever, and I don't remember the last time that they replaced stuff. So when we were talking to our server, we're friends with all the servers in there. She was like, "Oh, you know what was interesting though? We did this other couple that we always see in there. We didn't see them today. The time that we go, there's always like 2 or 3 couples that we see that are in there at the same time and stuff. There's like this real young couple that are probably like early 20s. They're like always in there, and they were there today. But this other couple that we see, this older couple, they weren't there today. But anyway, so we were talking about the coffee mugs, and she was like, "Oh, do you like the older ones or the new ones more?" And I said, "Oh, I like them both." I said, "They're both, you know, I mean, it's a coffee mug, right? But you know, I collect coffee mugs." And so she was like, "Well, we're selling the old ones for $5." And she was like, "A lot of people have been getting them because a lot of people really like them." I was like, "I want one." So Alex was like, "We do not need any more coffee mugs." But I was like, this is a piece of history because this is where we went like every Sunday, right? So I got Cafe Patachou coffee mug. This was like a coffee mug that I drank from like it says a student union for adults since 1989. I love it. I'm so happy that I got it. $5. I think that was pretty good, don't you think? So I was really excited about that. And then after that, plus, I always save their bags because this bag is so nice. Actually, in fact, inside right now, I used a birthday bag for it, but so I was ordering all of those bark boxes. I, you know, months ago, canceled my membership to it because Boo Radley doesn't eat any of the treats that are in there, and he doesn't play with toys. It made me so sad. Like, I did the video on my Peter Does Stuff channel, I think, talking about it, but that was really, really, really hard for me. There's been 2 things with the dogs that I wouldn't expect was really hard. It's gonna sound strange, unless you've been through it, maybe. But like the first one was when PP passed away, getting rid of his medicine. I remember standing there and just like looking at his medicine and like bawling and being like, we don't need this anymore. And like, I almost could not physically throw it away because it had become such a ritual for us to like, you know, give him his medicine and stuff like that for his heart disease and his kidney stuff. And I don't know why the medicine was like such a physical act that was ending for me. I had such a hard time with that, you know? It was just like, it was so difficult. And the other thing that was really, really difficult was canceling the BarkBox subscription. I can remember going on the website and like, it was real simple. Like I had put it off for months and months and months, right? Because like Tucker wasn't even really playing with it. He couldn't eat the treats because he didn't have any teeth. And so he would play with some of the stuffed animals, but not really. Because like he had his favorites like Lady and stuff like that, and other than that he didn't really play with a lot of the stuffed animals, and so every box came with 2. But it was just this thing that I had done with the dogs for so long, you know, at $49 a month, which was extremely expensive. And But it was like this emotional connection that I had to it. And it was like so simple. All you did was go in there and cancel it. And then it was like, it asked you like the reason why you were canceling it. And it was like one of the things that it said in there was, hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. One of the things that it said in there was like our beloved pet passed away or something like that. It was like one of the, it was worded really nicely. Because I can remember like that was the one that like I hit for like Tucker when I finally canceled it. And they sent like a message, and the message was like, we're really sorry to hear about. It was really sweet how they handled it. I was really impressed as a business how they handled it. But anyway, so I had those boxes, you know, like I think like even after I canceled it, like 1 or 2 more came or something like that because I didn't cancel it in time or whatever. And so I was just gonna bag this, like I went through it, like me and Boo sat there and opened it. I got like so teary-eyed, and I was like, hey Boo, let's open these boxes. And you know, I gave him a treat, but he wouldn't like really eat them. And so the treats that I knew that he couldn't eat, like I didn't open. And so I just like bagged the stuff all up to take to Melissa for the dog rescue or take to Tanya for the kennel. But these bags, like when we get takeout, they always give us these bags, are so perfect for like taking stuff over at people's houses and stuff. I just think they're such nice bags. I know this is so corny that I'm talking about this, but isn't this such a nice bag? Okay, so then we went to Kohl's, and the reason that we went to Kohl's, I can't go to Kohl's anymore, okay, people? I hadn't gone to Kohl's in years, and then all of a sudden I start going to Kohl's and I start buying all this stuff, right? So Alex had to return something to Amazon. So I don't know if you guys know this. Most of you probably do, but if you want to return something to Amazon, you just take it to Kohl's, and they have like a customer service area. So while Alex was returning, this was like weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. I think it was on a Sunday. While he was returning stuff to Kohl's, or at the customer service, I started looking just like in the men's section. And that was where I bought the Vans, and I bought a bunch of other stuff, right? I should actually just do should I do like a Kohl's haul over on my, maybe that's what I'll do. I'm actually going to do that on my Peter Does Stuff channel tomorrow, because now I have it complete what I bought. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that over. I'm gonna do a Kohl's haul, because nobody will expect that from me over my Peter Does Stuff channel. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna do that from the stuff that I bought before and the stuff that I bought this time. So just deal with that. I'm sorry. I was excited to show it, but there, now I have a video. I have a couple videos for my Peter Does Stuff channel. Now I have a Kohl's haul, and then I have a P.O. box unboxing, and then there was something else that I was going to do over there. Oh, I was going to do the Dahmer response video. And then I actually was going to do a Dawn of the Dead 2004 response video. What are you guys saying? Do you think that's stupid? Even though it came out, I mean, it came out in 2004, but I thought, well, I'm going to start talking about everything over there, you know? So I also think I might do a video over there talking about what shows of the week that I'm watching and just my response to the shows of the week. What do you think about all that? What do you think about all that? Anyway, so that was my day, and then when I get off of here, I'm going to, well, if it's ready, I'm going to post the video on my Peter Monn channel that's about Bird Buddy, and then I'm going to probably lay down with Alex for a little bit. I can't imagine that he was really going to go to bed for the night. Maybe. Sometimes he does. Do you guys know, they used to do review channels. I don't think they do review videos anymore. Hold on a second. No, they do TikToks now. Mel's and Chris. But they were this review channel that I found, and I loved them. And we did like a review video of a Starbucks drink together. And I think they're from like Texas or Alabama or somewhere. Hold on, let's see if it says. Do they have their YouTube channel anymore? It says on their Instagram that they do. Well, anyway, they do these real funny, oh, 2 years ago, here's our video together. Look, you can see the thumbnail, see? We did the sunset drink. Oh, that was my channel. Hold on a second. Where's their channel? Well, I'm sure I linked their video channel underneath here. Mel's and Chris. Let's see if it pulls it up. Yep, their YouTube channel is gone. I don't know why. Maybe they deleted it. But they did reviews, and I loved their reviews. I don't know why they took it down. Anyway, now they just do TikToks, and their TikToks are real funny, and it's mostly like couple stuff of like, I really like them as a couple. They're really fun to watch. And they do all of these TikToks of like, he'll be like, how I got her to say yes to marrying me and stuff. They're funny. Anyway, they're a cute couple, and they have cute kids, and they're just like real sweet, and I really like them as a couple. So, but they're doing TikToks now. They were doing the reviews. Like, they did a lot of food reviews on YouTube. I don't know why they stopped. People do stuff for a while, and then they just stop it, and I don't understand it. It's like, I know. Would any of you be upset? I shouldn't say. Anyway, let me bait for compliments here. But no, like, if all of a sudden I just like stopped making videos, period, on any channel, and like I never said anything about it, and like y'all had no clue where I was, or you know what I mean? It's like there's like a lot of YouTubers out there that like I watched religiously, and then like just like they never like made a video saying we're done or we're not doing this anymore, and then it was just like one day. Whenever I say this, I kind of always get this response from people that they're like, you're not entitled to any kind of response, answer or whatever from YouTubers. And I feel like, are you not though? Like, you know, I got this comment from, I was talking about like Snapchat, like people making money on Snapchat. And I was talking about Shane Dawson making money on Snapchat, which I don't have an issue with. Like, you know, make your money how you're going to make your money. But I got this comment. Hold on a second. Just read the comment. If I can find it. Response, because I responded to a bunch of comments yesterday. This person said, this isn't news, Peter. This was about like people like making a lot of money off of Snapchat, and that a lot of influencers are going over to Snapchat. And I wasn't aware of that. Like, I wasn't aware that that was like a way that people were making a lot of money, you know? And it's always like before it like becomes mainstream, there's like a lot of people that kind of like hear about it first, and you hear about it, you know, and here and there and whatever. So I hadn't heard about it. I didn't know that until like actually a lot of you started contacting me about it. And so this person responded to me and said, this isn't news, Peter, nor is it a secret. There are so many influencers currently making money on Snapchat, just like every other social media platform. And none of them do this as a hobby. It's all about making money. A lot of it, preferably. I mean, Keemstar moved his entire drama alert over to Snapchat, which I knew that. It's a well-known thing. Which I love. This one comment said, it's not as well known as you think. Could you maybe communicate your point without coming across as condescending, or as that anyone who didn't know this is as foolish? Which I love that comment. But most YouTubers that I know, that I interact with, you know, to some degree, it's not just a hobby for them, you know, like to most people that I interact with on YouTube that post on a consistent basis, posting videos is their career, is whether they lucked into it like me, and they get to get up every single day and do something that they absolutely love. I mean, you guys, I just feel so blessed. I just cannot even say it enough how blessed I feel that I get to do something every single day that I love and call this, like, I don't even, like, it's weird for me to call it a job because it doesn't feel like a job, but I guess, you know, whatever. And I know that there's a lot of people, like, I'm like not business minded when it comes to this stuff at all. Like, I meet with people and they're like, well, I've got this on this date and this date and this date, and they're business minded and all that kind of stuff, right? And I think that's great. Like, maybe I need to be more like that. I think if I was more like that, maybe, you know, I don't know. So anyway, but when you watch somebody for a long period of time, or when people watch somebody for a long period of time and they've invested, let's say 2 years, 3 years of their life watching their videos every single day, you're really helping that person financially by paying their bills and allowing them to have this life that they have and things like that. I don't take that shit for granted. I don't take that stuff for granted. I mean, I really don't, you know? I'm so incredibly appreciative of each and every single one of you out. Okay, it stopped. But not just for the support that you give me, but, you know, also for the interactions and all of it. Just, you know, the Vloggerinos group and it's just the comments and just, it's the coolest world. It just really is, right? So, do I feel like a YouTuber that has been doing YouTube for 2 to 3 years, 5 years plus consistently, that has garnered some type of audience? And typically, I will say, the other thing that's interesting about this is that it's also when they have like a much larger audience, almost kind of like they've lost sight of the fact that these numbers that they have represent real, actual people. That there were like, each person had to hit subscribe to get them to that number. You know, that they don't really have, like I was looking at some TikTokers today, and there were TikTokers that have like 500,000, you know, 800,000 followers, you know, whatever. I mean, there's people that have millions, right? And it's like, if you put up a TikTok and it goes viral and overnight you get like 100,000 followers, like in real time, does that like really make sense to you? Do you really understand that? Like, does that, you know, do you really conceptualize what that number means? Because I think like numbers on YouTube, numbers on TikTok, Instagram, like, you know, I think, especially when you're younger, I don't know that you really understand that kind of. So do I think that if you've had a career on YouTube where you have been interacting with people and they, to some degree, have allowed you to be fortunate enough to have the life that you have by them just watching your videos and interacting with you and getting excited, you know, yes, I think you owe it to them. Whether that's, you know, maybe you had something going on at that time and you couldn't make a video and say, like, I was going through a breakup and, you know, but 3 months later, 6 months later, coming back and saying, like, hey, you guys, like, at the time, like, I was going through a horrible breakup and, you know, but I'm back and this is my last video and I really appreciate the support. And I just wanted you guys to know that all of the years that I've been on YouTube has really meant a lot to me. I mean, there's been people that have done that, and I really, really respect that when they kind of make this, like, you know, like, peace out video, like, I'm gone from YouTube, and thank you guys for the support, and it's really meant a lot to me. As sad as it is, like, I respect that. I highly respect that. I have thought at times, like, I don't know. Like, I say it almost to the point where probably people get sick of it. Like, what a blessing I feel like this life is to me. So, people probably get so sick of hearing me say that. I don't know. My battery just went to the halfway mark, so I don't know how much time I have left. And I don't really want to go inside and change the battery, so just, there is that today. And I didn't bring the other battery out. But anyway, I filmed the drama rant video first, and then this one second on the same battery. So anyway, I should have just put a brand new battery in. But I'm sure people probably get sick of me saying it about really truly how blessed I feel, you know? And so, like, I kind of really can't imagine what would have to happen for me to leave YouTube completely, unless something happened to YouTube. And then I probably would go over to Facebook Live and you know, try to build like a Facebook page and like post videos over there, or Instagram, or I guess Snapchat, since that's apparently the thing these days, or TikTok or something like that, you know, which I've been so encouraged by people in my life. They're like, you need to post on TikTok, you need to post on TikTok, you need to post on TikTok. Peter, you need to post on Instagram more, you know? And it's like one day I'll be like real active on Instagram stories, and then like the next week I'm not. But I've tried to be more like that because I know that people like to see all sides of your life and whatever. But I love this world. I think this world is cool. And I feel, like I said, so blessed that this is my life, that you're going to have to drag me away from doing it, you know? So I think for that, when I see people that take for granted, especially like where it's like they got it so easily, when there are so many other people that have worked so hard for it, you know, when there are so many people that are like not, I guess maybe not just on YouTube or in the influencer world, but just in the world in general, when people work so hard to pay their dues and get to the top of their game or get wherever they want, whatever that dream life looks like for them, right? And yet, and then you have somebody that just has it handed to them so easily, and they take it for granted, and they don't really care, and then it's like, how do you do that? Like, and I really think it's a disrespect to the audience on an influencer level that has really got you to where you're at. But I also think it's kind of disrespectful to whether you believe in a higher power or the universe or whatever, handing you these golden opportunities. I don't know. I don't take that stuff for granted today, you know? It's like when something cool comes your way. It's like I was talking about that yesterday, you know? It's like when something, this beautiful bird just landed in the front yard. I could see it closely if I had a bird buddy, which I don't, and I never will. Since my order was canceled, unbeknownst to me. But, yeah, I mean, I talked about that all yesterday, so I'm not going to talk about it again today. But, you know, it's like, I try to really not take that stuff for granted today. And, you know, since several years ago, I really changed my attitude. And I really started, I mean, these are recovery things I've heard for 27 years of being in sobriety. You know, it's like, have an attitude of gratitude, right? But I don't know that I really, like, lived it. I don't know that I really lived it for a long time. And then when I did, and I started seeing gratitude as an action, and by that what I mean is the act of being grateful, okay? And by saying out loud, like, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. And you live with gratitude in your heart, right? Where you live with thankfulness. And you live with appreciation for everything, whether it's from the mums to the pillow to the blanket to the food that I had at brunch to the fact that I have a husband and our marriage is fantastic. I know what I was going to say. Fun, fantastic. I was going to mix those words together. You know, or that I have one dog, you know, even, and that I have friends and I'm family and I have a great sponsor and I'm surrounded by love and, you know, all, I mean, just on and on and on and on. There are so many things that I am so grateful for today, you know, and my way through difficult times is always through great gratitude, you know, and it's hard to be negative and cynical and miserable and resentful when you see the world through a glimpse of gratitude. Because when you do, it's hard to be grateful for the things that you have in your life and not at the same time realize there are so many other people that don't have the things that you do. When you're talking about, I'm so grateful for my home, you know? Do I have a humongous home? No. I have a 1,200 square foot condo. It's small, but it's ours. You know? It's ours. And we don't have a 5,000 square foot mansion or a penthouse in Miami. I wish. Some days I do. Some days I'm thankful that I don't have to take care of that because I love our little small place. It's perfect for us. It's us, you know? But, you know, when you are grateful for that process, and I sit out here and I say out loud, okay, God, I'm grateful for, you know, our home. What it instantly makes me realize is there are a lot of people that don't have a home. And then what it also makes me realize is that my bottom was being homeless because I was so terrified of it. Because my dad was like, if you pick up again, you're out. Like, I don't want to see you again. Don't talk to you again. I'm not helping you, whatever. And I had no idea where I would stay or how I would take care of myself. And so, I mean, the only thing I knew that I could probably do was prostitution. And I was so terrified of doing, I mean, I wasn't really terrified of that, but like that homelessness and fear of having to prostitute myself to take care of myself were the two things that like were my bottom at that time, right? Now looking back, I think my bottom was truly is death. And then if I go back out and I pick up again, I'll end up there. But I could have so easily, like Tanya and I were talking about this the other night, I could have so easily been homeless. Like, Tanya and I were talking about, like, the early days in sobriety, it was like having a cup of coffee, you know, and going to a meeting and they would have like a box of stale donuts from like 2 days ago, you know, and you'd be like, oh my God, a stale donut, you know, and you would leave the meeting and it would be like the middle of winter and it would be snowing outside and you'd have this little styrofoam cup of coffee and it'd be like shaking in your hand, you know, and you'd be standing outside smoking a cigarette and you'd be talking to some people like shaking, whatever, and you'd just be so happy and just full of the spirit, you know, and I just feel so blessed. I feel so blessed for this life, you know. Even just like sitting out here, like, and it's like crisp outside and I can smell like somebody has like a fire burning in their fireplace and it's like I can see the sunlight and the birds are flying and it's just like I feel so grateful for my life, you know. Okay, so before I go and I lose it and get all sad and maudlin today, this is where I cry out of joy sometimes, and I think other people don't really understand that. It's like, I'm so overwhelmingly grateful. I feel it, you know, like in every part of my body. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here now. Go inside and start uploading this vlog. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me on the front porch tonight. And, oh, I love you guys so much. I really, really do. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday and that you're getting renewed, rejuvenated, refreshed, and relaxed for the week ahead. Sundays, you guys know, are my favorite day of the week. And remember these 3 things that are very important. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want, or your week over. You can start your week over too. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. And Sunday is a good day to do that, just to wish somebody a good week ahead, you know, and say, I hope your week goes well. And also remember to be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and also be kinder and love yourself a little bit more. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. And for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more, I love you. Love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.